So good afternoon, church. And my respects to Dr. Frankson, who presides. I understand that you're retiring and leaving us. So thank you for your service to our country and to the region. I wish you well in your future endeavors. My respects to our honorary consul, Mrs. Cartwright, to our parliamentary secretary and Mrs. Strong, to reverend gentlemen and ladies who are here, to the Jamaican community here, Patrick Hanlon, my good friend. We've been on this journey many years, over and over, so it's good that you're still here. And to the Jamaican community and Bahamian friends who are joining us here this afternoon. This is a real privilege, honor, and pleasure, and I want to start off by first expressing greetings from Prime Minister Philip Davis, who is in Cat Island at the moment. But we had a meeting this morning at his office, and he asked me to express his greetings to the community and to thank you, the Jamaican community, for all that you do to support our country and to wish you well on this year's 61st anniversary and going forward. So thank you again. I want to also recall the work of Verona Douglas Sands, who is not able to be here. Earlier this year, I was invited, I think, to a birthday party, which should have been her 90th birthday. Unfortunately, I was away. I would have tried to come if I had been here, because I believe that she has done a yeoman's service not only for your community, but for the people of the country. So we remember her today and wish her well. And then I had a refreshing experience just last weekend in Atlanta, where I ran into a woman I had not seen since I graduated from high school back in 1970. Mr. and Mrs. A.C. Williams were teachers at St. Augustine's College. And at our 50th anniversary service reception in Atlanta, she was there. And I had the opportunity to meet her, talk to her. And I want to say more broadly and philosophically that this is one of the demonstrations of the strength of immigration, because nations are in fact stronger by the exchange of people and the inward movement of people. And that couple, as teachers in St. Augustine's, I indicated was one of a number of persons who came from the Southern Caribbean who taught us in school, but taught us more than just 2 and 2 equal 4, but gave us the confidence to face the world, to teach us the social skills, to advance ourselves. So I want to mention her this afternoon. When in 1972, or thereabouts, Jimmy Cliff starred in the film The Harder They Come, I was a student in London. And in those days, there was no cell phone, so you had to actually go physically to a theater or a movie house in order to watch the movie. And London, if you know it as a city, has many neighborhoods. So the film would cycle from one neighborhood to the next. And every week that it changed, I would look in the newspaper and find out which neighborhood it was showing in, and I would go to that neighborhood to see the film. Because, again, in those days, when you went to university abroad, you didn't come back home until you were finished. There's no jumping on the plane, as you can do now. So this was one of the ways. It was a remarkable film because it reminded all of us who were from the Caribbean region of what it was to be at home, to live at home, and to see people who looked like us and sounded like us on the giant screen. I recall that as I looked at the ladies singing today, some of the tunes that they sang reminded me of the tunes from that movie. So why am I saying all of this, a kind of walk down memory lane? Because these occasions, the 61st anniversary, our 50th anniversary, are all occasions for reflection on the one hand and looking forward on the other hand. And those of our forefathers and foremothers who decided on these dates for independence, in Trinidad it's the 31st of August, in Jamaica it's the 6th of August, and I'm sure it was deliberately chosen because the 1st of August was the day that the slaves were freed in 1834. So there's a whole month of celebrations, connections in and around the freedom of African people in this part of the world. And one of the responsibilities I have just after this is, you know, Fox Hill is a neighborhood which the center of our year is the emancipation celebrations. And the first of them begins in just a short time from now with the annual race from Gambia to Fox Hill, which is 13 miles, those of you interested in running it. I won't be. I'll join them at the Village Road roundabout and pretend that I made the finish line. But that's what they chose for us, those dates and times. And so we are all one in that direction. And this morning, one of the reasons the Prime Minister was in town was because the African Import-Export Bank, their leaders, Professor Orima and former President Obasanjo of Nigeria, are in town to concretize the relationship which is developing now between Africa and the Caribbean. And as the years go by, we intend to strengthen this relationship as a part of the foreign policy of all of our countries. So this is a very important development. And over the past year, Jamaica and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas have worked very closely together, more closely than ever together, on the question of policy in Haiti. The Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, led a delegation of Caribbean ministers and technical support people, including the military, to Port-au-Prince earlier this year to discuss how Caricom could help in two ways: to assist in the policing operations in Haiti, and also to help map a political way forward to settle the disputes amongst themselves in Haiti. As you know, the Bahamas government has announced that 150 servicemen will be joining an effort which, if supported by the United Nations Security Council, will repeat something similar to what we all did in 1994 when the United Nations passed a similar resolution. And we are to offer technical and professional support to ensure that the Haitian National Police are able to do their job more effectively. Jamaica has similarly announced a commitment of 150 personnel to the same mission, and we are thankful for that support. And so we look forward over the next months and years of continuing a good working relationship at all levels: political, economic, in trade, and of course strengthening our cultural ties. I hope that you enjoy this 61st anniversary. We're trying to catch you up. I don't know if we can actually do it, but it looks to me like the mathematics is against us. So we'll be satisfied with 50 for the time being, and we congratulate you for the 61st. I'll take my leave shortly. Hereafter, our parliamentary secretary will hold the fort for us, but I thought that I can't believe it's been 2 years since I was able to come back again, and I didn't want to break the tradition of making an appearance at these celebrations and ceremonies, and to congratulate you on building a wonderful nation, Jamaica, the land you love. God bless you.
Friend of Jamaica, tangible, demonstrable ways.